All right, guys, we're here. Episode 5, Roast and Toast Baseball Radio. We got a guest today. Finch, why don't you introduce yourself? Give us a little background real quick.
Yeah, man. Evan Finch. I went to McDaniel with Will and Tom. I'm sure a lot of the followers probably know me because I know the same people you do. So, yeah. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad I'm on tonight. Looking forward to talking about some good stuff going on and opening day coming up for the 2024 season.
Talking ball.
Oh,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man.
First topic we got tonight is this Shohei gambling story. Ippei Mizuhara involved, his interpreter, and basically his life assistant, personal assistant. Kind of want to get your thoughts, each of your guys' thoughts on the situation, what you think's really going on there. Who wants to start there?
Well, I'll start. $4.5 million stolen from Shohei's banking accounts. It's a very intriguing situation. Mitsuhara originally told ESPN reporter that Shohei loaned him in two separate accounts for $500,000, and the notes were loan from Shohei's banking. His representatives immediately came out and said that's a lie. And yeah, Shohei officially told the media yesterday. I know we'll get into more specifics too, but he told the media yesterday that he's never gambled on sports, never touched gambling, and that he was stolen money from his accounts.
Yeah, there's just a lot going on there.
I mean, Pete Rose, man, with the quote of the century,
Uh,
like insane. Like if I had an interpreter in the 70s or 80s, I'd still be playing baseball. Like, holy moly. I mean, Will did send me something by the guy at Pitching Ninja, actually like right before the show, and he had a pretty good take about it. Didn't realize he was a lawyer too. So that kind of
I didn't know that
is
either.
cool. Yeah, I had no idea until he sent it. But his lawyer said like nobody that is guilty is gonna go right out and blame somebody else for it. Like if you, most of the time, if you did it, they're just going to deny, but not blame anybody else. So I thought that was an interesting take on it, and kind of like, damn, like he kind of put his whole life on the, not his whole, yeah, his whole life on the line to say, yeah, he stole money from me, and I had no idea about it. I mean, kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I personally think, and I think of it in a way like in a different way. Like, how does this man have his bank account information? Like, first of all, he's his translator, not his finance guy. So that's weird to me, all in that sense. Um, like I looked up today, he has a CAA Sports he's represented by, which is one of the largest
Mhm.
agencies in with finance and dealing with stuff like that. So a translator should not be having that much access to his bank account in the first place. So that's a little fishy in my opinion. And then Otani is like he is very wealthy, right? But he's not to the status where like you wouldn't know 5 million stolen from your bank account, right? Like he's not LeBron James with unlimited amount of wealth. So I find it really weird. You can't see that almost $5 million is stolen from your bank account. Because if someone stole $10 from mine tomorrow, I would know, right?
Mhm.
I mean, like that's a little everything just like that sketchy to me. Plus, um, yeah, I just don't get it. Like a close friend and a translator, I don't understand. So I think maybe he mentioned to Otani about it and like he was, helpful and was like, sure, you can do that. Cause he probably didn't even know that was something that could like get him in trouble, honestly. So you never know. But I think there's just something, obviously no one really knows what's going on, but I think there's something we're missing. So
Well, you
Yeah.
wonder the ramifications about that too. It's like, what would the ramifications be if Shohei knew and willingly gave, not even just the side of even knew that money was taken out, or if Shohei was the one who quote unquote loaned that money, what would the ramifications be from baseball for that?
right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know there was a case in 2015, I think, a pitcher on the Marlins, Jared Cozart, he was caught gambling with an illegal bookie, um, and he only got a fine. And it was because he
On
loaned.
MLB games?
No baseball involved, which is what we also
Oh, okay.
with Shohei. So there's a precedent set there with this guy. So at the very minimum, it's going to be just a fine, but obviously we don't know all
Mhm.
the details. Um, but I'm kind of with in the middle, like with like Finch and his take. Like I feel like Shohei really has no idea what he was doing, or like
Yeah.
I don't think he had any clue that that was an illegal thing going on. Like, if Ipe really came to him and asked him for help with these debts, he was probably like, "Sure, whatever, like here." Because if he was really in the weeds there and really gambling, I feel like he would know that this was not something that he should be doing, like wiring money from his bank account.
Yeah.
Doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, I
I,
think that's what it is, honestly. I think he just didn't know and he was trying to help a friend out. That's what I think it is. I mean, we can all speculate, but
Mhm.
I just don't see how he doesn't know that 5 million, almost 5 million stolen out of his bank account. But
Yeah,
You just do wonder like how, because I was listening to something on Foul Territory today with Eric Kratz, and he was saying that there was someone who he said he played with a player who made 15, 20 million a year, and they had no knowledge of anything in their banking, and they have people who do it for him. But I still can't
yeah.
imagine $4.5 million just vanishing from
Mhm.
an account.
Yeah.
I mean, those money managers too, kind of like they kind of like almost give you like an allowance. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
this is how much you can spend with still investing and like making more money, kind of a thing. So like, Shohei probably doesn't even know. I mean, I'm sure he does. Don't get me wrong. Like everybody knows like what's in their bank account, but I'm sure like on a day-to-day thing, he's like, oh, I have 5 million I can give out, or a 5 million, like whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Like, sure, like not a big deal. Or maybe like he thought eBay was like buying a house or something. I don't know. It is fishy. I think him coming out and blaming Ipe in the beginning is kind of crazy, but I mean, who the hell knows? Like, he could just be betting on himself to fucking win
right.
games or throw games and stuff. Like,
Yeah. There's always a fall guy, man. He's just the
I
fall
was gonna
guy.
say, oh, that's exactly what I was gonna
scapegoat.
say. The fall
We'll
guy.
see.
That's
We'll
what
see.
people were speculating right away. The fall guy situation. Like, who's gonna just be the guy who's gonna take this?
Yeah, I want to give Shohei the benefit of the doubt, and like Tom said, the fact that he's going on the offensive, it can leave him liable to a lot of consequences later on. So
Mhm.
it's gonna be
Millions of dollars in like lawsuits. So yeah, he would have to pay if he's lying.
right,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right.
Defamation.
So
Oh yeah, especially talking to lawyers. Yeah, for sure.
let's move on
Mhm.
from the Shohei stuff. It's we're gonna be talking about that for a while, I'm sure. But there's obviously more news going on. Most recently, Jordan Montgomery just signed with the Diamondbacks. I kind of want to get your thoughts on the signing for them, how this impacts their season, and the signing for Montgomery as a whole. Like, what is that contract doing?
Contract's very interesting.
Mhm.
1 year, $25 million with a vesting option for the second year, which basically means he'll make that same exact contract if he starts 10 games for the Diamondbacks, and if he'll be given that vesting option. Another Boris guy, another contract that is moderately similar to Snell. They didn't get their big 6, 7, 8 year deals that they were expecting. 1, 2. I don't know. It's just very strange to see like how this transpired. He got a good AAV. He
Yeah,
pitched well last year to deserve it, but
Mhm.
I kind
good.
of for the Diamondbacks, I love it. I mean, I
Yeah.
think it's a great signing for them, just from a pitching standpoint. Like, we could talk about it all day, but I mean, it's just fantastic from having him in the bullpen. Like, he's a horse, dude. Like, he will start 10 games. Like, if he doesn't, that'll be the great, like, biggest blowout ever. Like, but he will start 10 games, guaranteed. Also, Boris, all of Boris's guys most recently signing, like, I keep hearing people like being so mad about, like, oh, like, why are we like praising Boris for all this stuff? Like, he only got them like 1, 2 year deals. And it's like these guys are at an age where like they can still bet on themselves and try to get good contracts. And from me, if I was a player, these contracts seem pretty good. I don't know why people are like upset about it, but that's like a whole another conversation. But for the Diamondbacks, I love this for them. I think it's gonna be great.
The rotation's stacked now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he
Merrill
doesn't.
Kelly,
Yeah.
Zach Gallen, it's just nuts.
Who's also a horse, low key a
Yeah.
horse.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in his career, obviously he's not a true ace, so it is a good thing because he doesn't have to go in and be a true ace. He'll probably be 3 or 4 in that rotation. But yeah, I mean, I don't the contract like you kind of already talked about it. Just obviously he will eat innings for you. So I mean, the 10 games is pretty simple for him.
Mhm.
I mean, last year would he go 10-11 with the 3-2-1? Obviously wins doesn't really match up with the ERA. So he did have a good year. Also pitched great in the playoffs as postseason. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind it for the D-backs who obviously are on the come up. So yeah.
Yeah, I have some thoughts on that contract. I think it sucks. I think it sucks. Like,
Why?
why can't he get a 5-year deal? I don't understand why he can't get that deal.
The market's not allowing that. He deserves
But
it.
it's crazy
Tell
because
me how
It is.
fucking sorry, excuse my language. Aaron Nola gets a 7-year, $172 million deal, and Jordan Montgomery can't even get 3 years. That makes
well,
no.
it's like
I-
Sonny Gray just got 3 years, 75 million, same AAV at 34, and
And most of
Monca-
that for the Phillies is like, sorry, most of that for the Phillies is because he's been there forever. That's all I'm saying.
I understand that. It
That's
just
true.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. My fault.
it's crazy to me. Like every team should be trying to sign Jordan Montgomery at that contract.
it's
Wild to me. And speaking of the low contracts and stuff, I mean, JD Martinez went to the Mets recently too.
yeah.
I know I'm pretty happy about that, but what are your guys' thoughts on that deal?
I think it's great for the Mets. I think it's amazing for the Mets. I think the Mets got a great deal. I'll say that. I think just giving him 1 year at age 36, we've mentioned the stats past 3 weeks pretty much of this podcast, but 33 home runs in 113 games last year. Still great. Mets finally had protection for Pete Alonso. That was the big issue ever since Pete Alonso came up. Who is going to be behind him in the order? No one who he could pitch because teams were just pitching around Pete for the most part. Pete was still hitting 40 home runs. The team was just throwing guys sliders outside, everything just to avoid throwing to him. Now you have JD Martinez in the 4 hole. You can't pitch around Pete as much as you used to. I think it's great for the Mets.
See that?
Yeah, I like it too. I've always been a big JD fan. I mean, he's one of those guys. He's a professional hitter, right? Like he's like a Howie Kendrick type guy. They just mash, right? They just hit. So I saw like a fun little tidbit today where he did hit 33 homers, and people were like City Field won't really fit his power type game because City Field is kind of weird dimensionally and kind of big. But he would have had 39 homers if he played last year in City Field for
Wow.
what he would have. So he would have had 6 more homers. So I think it does fit him. Um, so yeah. And then I think he's also a good leadership presence. Obviously, he's a great hitter. Kind of can teach some young guys that they have coming up, and keep teaching them how to go about it in a professional way. So
Yeah.
I agree with the leadership part especially. Like I know the Mets just sent down Mark Vientos, but I think he could be a fantastic piece for Mark Vientos. I think it could be great to teach him a lot of stuff
yeah,
and just be there in the clubhouse for him.
Yeah. What did you guys think about Martinez's comments about Oracle Park? How he didn't want to go to the Giants because he felt like he couldn't hit for power there.
well, that was the opposite. He would only had like 20 last year, and I mean,
That's
which is fair. I mean,
That's
that part
crazy.
I wouldn't want to hit. I wouldn't want to hit there either. So
No.
I mean, I want to go when I'm 36 years old. I want to go somewhere. My last few years, maximize whatever I have left. So I
Yeah.
mean, that seems like
Mhm.
that's where he kind of found where he wanted to be. So I think
Yeah.
he deserved the right to kind of
Yeah.
play or pick where he wants to go. So
JD Martinez in Boston, he was still having this crazy amount of power for home runs, but he also had a ton of doubles. I remember hearing about that.
yeah,
He had 42 doubles in 2021 and then 43 in 2022, and he still
Mhm.
hit like 30 bombs in 2021. He still has just the ability to just take balls the opposite way too and just
Yeah.
compete.
I agree with you. So the last little free agent move, don't want to focus on it too much, but I do think it can make a difference for this team. Michael Lorenzen to the Rangers for very, very cheap contract. I mean, it's less than he signed for last year. And last year he was actually really good. The year before last year he wasn't good. So
Yeah.
1 year, like $4 million to the Rangers. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely don't care about it. I don't even like I don't care. It's like I'm not I think he's like obviously he's very inconsistent. We can all agree on that, but it's like I don't know. I think the one where I think he could be a long type guy, or maybe like a fill in as they wait for DeGrom. But I mean the one thing the Rangers did lack last year, I think they were 31 and 34 with a 4.77 in the bullpen with 33 blown saves. So that was kind of like that was their obviously he's not a closer, but that was their Achilles heel was the bullpen. So I mean maybe fit him in as a long guy, eat innings if a starter, only goes what 3 or 4, maybe kind
Right.
of bridge the gap until the 7th inning. So I didn't think it's like that big of a thing, but it adds some depth.
Yeah. Tom, I know you're kind of a Michael Lorenzen hater, so what are your
I
thoughts
don't
on?
hate the guy personally as a baseball player. I'm just like it does. He doesn't do it for me. He's just a walking.
Yeah,
Well,
Like,
it's crazy. His drop off when he hit the Phillies last year was pretty substantial. He in Detroit he had a 3.58 ERA in 18 games started, and then in 7 starts with 11 games. I know he was like Finch mentioned, he came out of the bullpen a good amount for like the long relief aspect. He had a 5.51 ERA. Like he just
yeah.
not good.
It's
no,
bad.
it's the consistency that you're looking for, and
I'm no mathematician. Not good,
that
He
is
needs to
it.
stop in the weight room, man.
dude. He's a meathead,
He's
and he
too
throws
big,
like
man.
80. He throws 90-mile-an-hour cookies.
Yeah.
It's just
So
like thanks.
I want to get going on the next topic that I thought personally was really interesting and drama, a lot of drama. So I know
A lot
Jazz
of drama.
Chisholm went on the Pivot podcast last week, which is hosted by football players, and he just kind of roasted the Marlins, and namely, we know he was roasting like Miguel Rojas and
Oh yeah.
probably Jesus Aguilar. So and then Miguel Rojas actually came on the Chris Rose rotation yesterday and kind of also spoke about his side of things. So I kind of wanted to know your thoughts on that situation there. Let's hear from Demetrius first.
So I have a lot of quotes. I listened to the podcast about Miguel Rojas and Chris Rose rotation. He said a lot of interesting stuff. I'll get to that after, but pretty much I know Jazz mentioned how he was not happy with the leadership and how Miguel Rojas was a part of that organization and just he didn't feel he treated the young players well. He mentioned specifically that Rojas was very unhappy when a young player in his first or second home run did the Soto shuffle, and Jazz said that when he got back to the dugout, he was scolded by his teammates, and then Jazz was just saying how he wants the players to play, and he was just very upset with his leadership, and a lot of interesting things. Miguel had a lot to say on Chris Rose rotation. Chris Rose kind of just kept saying like, "All right, good," but pretty much just saying that a lot of things shouldn't leave the clubhouse. When there's info that needs to be accessed, it'll be accessed. There's no reason to air dirty laundry. If he would say that it made it seem like people were being blamed for injuries and he didn't want leadership to be blamed for that. It's just there's rules in a clubhouse to not talk about what goes on behind closed doors, and Jazz broke them. It was just very interesting. And then he also said he mentioned originally he was like younger players, and then when Chris Rose asked him about saying like, do you not want younger players to have fun? And he said the player was Jesus Sanchez. He named it by name and was saying that it was not me who mentioned the comment to him, it was another veteran. I was the leader of the team. I don't know why my leadership is being questioned, but I don't even want to consider myself that type of aspect. We're one of the veterans over here, and that he just doesn't need to keep everything in order. He just wants the young players and the older players to be treated the same way and not just like they're some scapegoat. And then the ending part was very interesting because Chris Rose asked him, "How would you like to end it with Jazz? Would you like to settle down, have a conversation once this is all done?" And then Rojas commented, "No, I'm not interested in conversation. As soon as you have the assumptions of me and the way that I am, I'm not gonna have a person in my life who has a bad like actions towards me."
Yeah.
Pretty
Jesus,
crazy on all sides.
my God,
Yeah.
Yeah.
is this all because they didn't like him celebrating after hitting a home run?
No,
Like
I
this
don't
is
think
what
there's,
I
this
don't
is what
think
it's
so.
coming from. Like it's got to be more. That's got to like
no,
add
there
up
is
to
more. There is
something.
more there.
Yeah.
No,
Not sure.
Jazz Chisholm came after Miguel Rojas like as a person. He said he was not a good.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I
there's
see.
a lot going on there. Finch, I
I
know you.
also saw another story. Jazz said that he had like 30 shoes in his locker, and a captain just trashed his locker and threw them all away, which is like kind of wild. But I
Kind of
would,
funny, but fuck.
yeah, it's
That's
like
that's
I don't know. Like some people think Jazz is probably like a team cancer. Like obviously no one will know unless you're in the locker room. I mean, he could come off that way, from the eye how he plays. But I mean, I don't think I don't know. Oh, they're all grown men. Like just let them be. Just everyone plays better loose. Like I've never been a fan of like the Hardo leadership type way. So I would just let Jazz do his thing. And like if he wants to do it, if he's not bothering anyone, like just let him be. Like he's got swag. I think that's what like if you some people don't like swag, that's what it is, and that's what he has. So I don't know.
Like it's like not like Jazz is competing. Jazz is competing. Like it's not like he's just consistently struggling
Yeah,
the entire time. He's
I
putting
mean,
numbers up.
Jazz literally said that Miguel Rojas sucks at baseball.
Yeah.
He said that on the podcast.
I have
Yeah.
a hot take. I can't even lie. I don't think Jazz is that good.
He's an
His strikeout
average
numbers are
player.
insane. His strikeout
He's
numbers
an
are
average
just
player.
Yeah, he should not be striking out that much, in my opinion. If I don't know, I just don't. I think thinks he's a little better than he is, just how he comes off. But yeah, the strikeouts are very alarming to me because you shouldn't. Well, I guess nowadays, who gives a fuck? You can strike out 500 times. If you hit 30 home runs, you're getting a bag, right? So
That's your
I
big
don't.
pet peeve.
Yeah, that is my pet peeve.
Mike Trout.
It's not even like I hate, bro, strikeouts. I hate them. Like you can strike out 200 times and hit 30 home runs and hit 230, and you're getting a bag these days. Like it's annoying.
It is crazy.
But
But
that's for another day, right?
I think the whole thing with that situation is just like obviously they don't like each other. Clearly, right? Like you don't have to like each other, but I
Yeah.
mean, one of the things that Jazz was saying was like, I took a nap and no one woke me up from the nap. And that's on leadership. And I'm like, Jazz, I'm thinking to myself, I don't care how old you are, you should have set an alarm to wake up for the
Yeah.
team meeting. Like that's a little
You're an
ridiculous
adult.
to me. And then like I agree to an extent with Miguel Rojas. Like you don't air that stuff out
Yeah.
online. And if you are gonna do it, drop names. Like don't be hiding names. Everyone knows who you're talking about. And
Yeah.
lastly, with coming after who Miguel Rojas is as a person, I think that's a cheap shot. Like everything else is on the table. Call it leadership, whatever. But saying someone's a
Yeah.
bad person is a little crazy to me.
You can
Also, it
even
just
say he
came out of
sucks
like
at baseball.
this
Sorry.
entire thing just came out on Twitter. It wasn't like it was just like a story about Miguel Rojas. It was just like one
Yeah.
random Tuesday, a podcast comes out that says Jazz Chisholm just rips into Miguel Rojas.
I know.
Right.
That's what I mean.
Like,
It
I
came out of
don't-
left field.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Yeah, it was crazy
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
I don't know what's the blowback's gonna be. Like, are people gonna come out and talk about like I haven't really heard many teammates like people talking about it like on the baseball side. Like I wonder what like the blowback will be because it's still a new story. So
Yeah.
I feel like people think it's so stupid.
I would
To be
hope.
honest, like the whole reason like why this started, like it's just stupid.
Right. It's honestly, if we're gonna be honest, it's two players who haven't really done anything. I
That's
mean,
what I mean.
they've had
yeah,
decent careers, right? I mean, Jazz on the cover of the MLB The Show. Why? Tell me why.
Yeah. He thinks he's him. Like he actually
yeah.
thinks he's
Yeah.
like that's
He
what I
hasn't
don't
done
know. I just
anything notable.
No, he really hasn't.
He wore an ice cream glove.
Right.
Come on.
Right. But let's get going to our next topic. So we're gonna come back to the opening day slate after this, but I want to do season predictions real quick. From all you guys. So division winners, wild card, and then World Series winner. And if we have time, we'll go like who do you think is going to be an underachieving team, and who do you think is going to be an overachieving team? So, Demetrius, how about we start with you? Who do you have from coming
Cool.
from each division?
All right, I'll do my divisions. We got start at the American League side. AL East, the Orioles. I
Okay.
think they just are too talented now too. They upgraded the pitching. Their lineup will be upgraded when these young guys even come up and still have the young players in right now. I think they're going to be a feasting in that division, and they have the East title. The Central, who the hell knows? It's probably the weakest division in entirety of baseball. I think Cleveland will probably end up doing it if
wow.
That's
Shane Bieber is
That's a hot take.
healthy.
That
Yeah,
is.
I just don't think the Twins will still do what they did last year. They lost some pitching. I think Cleveland will just end up hitting because they weren't amazing last year, but their lineup's still good. They still have guys who will get on base and hit. Jose Ramirez is still one of the best pitchers in baseball. And then the West side, it's going to be a battle the entire time. I think the Astros geek it out. I think they still have those guys who are so good. Just the killers. You have Jose Altuve, lifetime Astro. You got Bregman, who's expecting to have a good year, being healthy. Pitching might be a little wonky at first, but Framber looking good again. I think they have the West.
All right, let's do everyone's AL picks real quick for the
Yeah.
divisions. So Finch, who you got?
What, for divisions or?
Yeah, divisions.
Oh,
AL.
yeah. So for me, I'm not a Yankees fan. Obviously, I'm a Nats fan, but I got to roll with my guy Soto. I'm gonna go Yankees to win that division. So yeah, I think just upgrade to Soto and maybe acquire a little more depth pitching wise at the deadline once they kind of figure out where they are settling in. American League West. I kind of agree with Astros because they're always there, but as a betting perspective, I'm gonna take the Mariners just because that division always comes down to the last week of the season. I think it's gonna be kind of the same thing this year. Central, I'm gonna have to go with the Twins. Just kind of the Guardians for me, they do get on base. It's just I don't know if they have enough offensive production. Something like Jose Ramirez is obviously elite, but it's just sometimes they just kind of lack in that. And then what's that? Yeah, I think that's it, right?
Mhm.
What do you got, Tom?
For the AL East, I really want the Orioles to be there. I just think the Rays are gonna Ray, just because they always do, and you just can't bet against the Rays, man. The Rays Ray, especially the first half of the season before the All-Star break, like it's every year they're automatic. So I mean, I really want the Orioles to be there, but I think it's gonna be the Rays. The AL Central, I'm going with the Twins just because they're so dominant in that division. I mean, that's not really saying much, but
Yeah.
yeah. So
They ran that division last year pretty easily.
Yeah.
that's what I mean. So it's like, yeah. For the West, I don't really care who wins it. All like the top three teams, like Astros, Rangers, Mariners, like those obviously are going to be the top three. I want to know who's going to finish in last, either the Athletics or the Angels. And I have a hot take. I think it might be the Angels.
I kind of agree with you.
I think the Angels might finish last in the division.
They could, but like it would be hard for them too, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's a tough one.
They would
right
have
there.
to try. They would have to try, but I think the Athletics at this point are just like, fuck it. Like we don't have anything we're doing. Let's just treat it like we're the 80s and just like play hungover and just smoke cigarettes in the dugout and just have a blast because we don't even have a home stadium, so who gives a fuck?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know, Tom.
I love it. I love it. Scumbag baseball.
I mean, that stadium's gross. That team is
This
gross.
team's disgusting.
It'd be pretty cool if
Oh.
they were good somehow, but that's like the longest shot ever.
It's like it's a movie if they're actually good.
Yeah, that'd have be their second movie. So for me, I would do the Orioles coming out of the East. I'm sorry, I just think they're the best team in the AL East.
Bruh, I'm so tired of hearing about the Orioles, man. I live with two fucking Orioles fans.
So tired. It's like their second year being good.
Yeah.
But
They've been good
I live by
forever.
Baltimore, man. You don't understand.
No, I don't.
Bal-
Yeah.
They're my team for the East. We got about 10 more minutes left, so we gotta hurry up a little bit on the rest of our picks. Central, I'm gonna go with the Tigers. I think the Tigers are gonna come out of the Central. And the West, I got the Astros. So Demetrius, let's go right to your wild card picks for the AL.
Wild card picks. I'm gonna go with the Mariners. There's three, right? I know that's all weird every year now. Yeah, three. I'm gonna go Mariners, Yankees, and Rays. I think the AL East will get three teams. Probably. It's so we're not taking the Rangers after they just had the World Series. It's gonna be a race towards the end. I still think Yankees are making the playoffs. I still think Rays are gonna do their thing, and Mariners just are improved, and we'll just roll and get that.
All right. I like that. Finch, who do you got with the wild card teams from the AL?
Blue Jays, Astros, and Rays. Sorry, Orioles, you're not making my playoffs.
Wow. You're just a hater, bro. You're a hater.
I'm sorry. They're gonna regress. I'm telling you.
All right, Tom. Who do you have with your AL wild card teams?
I got Blue Jays. I got Rangers, and then I got the Mariners. That's what I got.
Yeah.
How about you?
I tend to agree with you. I think the Mariners are going to win a spot. I think the Rangers are also going to win a spot, and I think the Rays grabbed the last spot. I don't think the Blue Jays are going to make it this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not
But-
too fond of them either, really.
yeah. Let's hop over to the NL. Because I want to get some time to go over the opening day slate. So
Mhm.
let's go through this as quick as we can. Let's go through the East and the Central and the West real quick, Demetrius.
All right, real quick, NL East, chop on the Braves. No surprise there. NL Central, I think the Reds sneaky can get that division. I think the Cardinals are going to regress, and I think the Reds finally have guys who are going to compete, even though they're dealing with some injuries right now. I think they'll just get guys back and be healthy, and they'll snag the Central. And NL West, the Doyers, Los Angeles Dodgers, they'll be taking the crown.
Okay. Finch.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Obviously, Dodgers are gonna win that division. Yeah, I'm gonna go Braves as well. Watch out for those Nats. They might get over 50 wins, baby. But no, I completely agree in the Central. To me, plus 350 on the Reds as a betting perspective. I don't know how the Cubs and Cardinals are in front of them. Honestly, I like the Reds to take that division too. I agree with the Cardinals aspect. I think they're gonna regress as well, and I don't know why the Cubs are, the favorites to win it. So those are my three.
Tommy.
I'm going Dodgers obviously to win the West. I think the Cubs are going to win the Central. That's just I have a gut feeling about that. I don't know why. I think the Reds are going to have some big scandal that goes on in the middle of the year. That's my prediction. But
What?
with Ellie De La Cruz, but obviously Phillies are going to win the East and the whole thing
Okay, Tom, being a little homer there.
because obviously.
Obviously.
I like it. I like it. I hate the Braves, but they're gonna win the East. The Central is tough for me. I honestly don't know where to go there.
Go Brewers.
No, no. I think I'm gonna go with the Cubs.
Give Reese a home.
Give Reese a
I
home.
think the
Give
Cubs
Reese a spot.
have a decent shot at it, but honestly, the Central sucks, so I don't really care. And then the West, I don't know,
Let's
man.
hear
I think the Dodgers don't have enough pitching, so
Gotcha.
I
I'm
kind
gonna
of
go with the
agree.
Diamondbacks.
What are you talking about? You think the
I
Diamondbacks are going to win 100 games?
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I just don't think the Dodgers are that good. If Yamamoto isn't that good,
Oh, yeah, because he pitched one.
one
Yeah, you're
game.
like, oh, he
I
got
don't
shit
like.
one
I don't
time.
like the way he looks.
hey.
I don't like the way he
He
looks.
was, he was throwing
I
a flat
mean,
fastball there. Let's go. Hey.
they have so much depth, man. Like,
I
that just
know
come up out of the nowhere.
they have Bobby Miller.
Yeah, he's a good dog.
Um,
Oh, wait, what about their lineup? Who's in the lineup?
yeah,
Is that not good enough for you?
the three best hitters in baseball, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's good enough to win 90
I
games
mean,
by
you have
itself.
the world spotlight on you for however long because of all this crap. It's gonna get to you at some point mentally.
All
Like
right,
Freddie Freeman's already looking a little annoyed. Sorry.
we got to jump to the wild card real quick. So Demetrius, hit it.
I'll go real quick. Phillies, Diamondbacks, and I'm going Mets. Homer. I don't care. 92 wins. Get us in the wild card. I don't care.
Fair. Finch.
Phillies. Phillies. I'll say Cubs, and then I'm gonna go San Fran Giants, baby. Don't forget about them.
All right.
No, I was leaning towards them too.
Yeah.
Really?
Logan Webb, dog.
I don't think the Giants. I think it's going to be the Mets, the Reds maybe, and then honestly, like the Marlins might squeak their way in just because they're the Marlins, and
Are you
because why
serious?
not?
Yeah. I
Shake it up a
actually
little
don't
bit.
hate the Marlins. I'm not
Yeah.
even kidding.
Luzardo's disgusting still.
I hate the Marlins this year. They don't have Esteury Perez or
Is
Sandy,
he out the uh is he gonna be out the year, Perez?
and they just traded. Yeah,
Oh,
he's probably gonna be out
I
the year.
forgot about them.
I forgot
They're
they
getting
didn't have
Sixto
Sandy.
back.
Oh yeah,
He's
Sixto's
a
finally
bullpen
back.
guy. He's just a bullpen guy now.
Yeah,
All
they
right, I'm
probably
gonna
will
go.
I
suck.
don't know.
I'm gonna
The fish
go.
are
What's yours, Will?
I'm gonna go. I guess because I was kind of joking. Like the Dodgers are gonna win the West, so Diamondbacks, Giants, Mets. I don't think Philly's going to make the playoffs this year.
The Met. We have 3 Mets in here. Come on, guys. Their whole team's gonna be hurt in April.
Hey, watch it.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see. But all right, we have 3 minutes left to go over some of your favorite matchups for tomorrow, opening day. So I want one from each of you guys. What are you guys looking for on the slate tomorrow?
I'll go dark horse, so I'll go last. You guys go first.
All right,
Well,
Tommy.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna do quick. I'll do quick ones. Obviously, from a betting perspective, I like the Reds run line at +130. They're gonna absolutely smack the Nats. It's Frankie Montas versus Josiah Gray. He's probably gonna get lit up. I think they versus the run line. They were 60% last year. The Reds, so pretty good. And then obviously, this is my favorite of the day: Mariners money line. Luis Castillo versus Brian Bello. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, the Red Sox are in a rebuild. Start off the year right in Seattle. They're just gonna get shelled. Mariners have the best pitching staff last year, ERA wise. So I like those two.
Okay. Tom, any matchups you're looking at?
I mean, the California one, the San Francisco and San Diego, Webb versus Darvish, that's gonna be kind of cool to watch, just from a pitching standpoint. But those ones I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one. How about you, Demetrius?
The best matchup of the day for the game wise is the Rangers Cubs. Justin Steele versus Nate Eovaldi, just the rematch
Yeah.
World Series. Love seeing that usual teams will wear gold lettering on their jerseys. Got Eovaldi and the Rangers in the gold. I love that. Don't forget sneaky matchup though. Gotta say, Mitch Keller, Pirates, Jesus Luzardo, Marlins. Really do love those pitchers. Big fan of Mitch Keller. I have a buddy from college who loves Mitch Keller. I like that matchup a lot.
All right.
That's a good one.
I think this is a good pod. Got a lot of stuff going on in baseball, and looking forward to the season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Last pod before opening day. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, real quick with our last minute. Tell me who you think is going to win the World Series, each of you.
Phillies. Book it.
Dodgers.
Finch?
Yeah, I think fuck. Dodgers, but yeah, I kind of like. I don't know why I like the Yankees.
All right.
Wow, that's a hot take.
I think the Orioles are going to win it all. But
Oh yeah.
Oh my!
I have Dodgers over Orioles. Dodgers over Orioles. World Series match of the year.
Dude, America's team, Orioles right now.
That'd be electric.
Orioles.
All right, we got to get out of here. Later, boys.
See you next week.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, it was great having you, Finch.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, thanks.
Wait, did it stop?
Stop recording.